Well, we've been interested in this whole issue of addiction, which we actually think is the most prevalent problem of the human species. So we've been looking for the right affiliation to test our theories. We've been working at the Chopra Center, and almost everybody who comes to the Chopra Center in California, even though they may not frame their problem this way, they have an addiction. It may be an addiction to a relationship, it may be an addiction to a pattern of behavior. And we believe that we have technologies that can help people go through authentic transformation. So Nirmala, who's been coming to our courses for a while, approached us about the possibility of having a more formal affiliation. And when we heard about the beautiful setting and we know the purity of her intention, we thought this was something worth exploring.
Right. And then now that you've been here, what do you think of the place?
It's beautiful. I would say it's sacred. And the journey up from Vancouver is beautiful, and then you come onto this property and it has just a sense of purity, and I think it's really going to help people struggling with their own demons to connect to something deep in themselves and deep in nature and really catalyze that healing process.
Will Deepak ever visit, do you think?
Never know about Deepak's life, but he'll be here on some non-local way, if not locally.
Yeah. Okay. I know we're under the gun. That's great,
That's it?
Doctor.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. David Simon. Dr. Simon is the co-founder and medical director of the Chopra Center in Carlsbad, California. He is also an author, and one of his recent books with Dr. Chopra was a book called Freedom from Addictions. And he is a wonderful clinician, and he's with a wonderful organization, and we're very pleased to welcome him in our company today. Dr. Simon.
Well, it's a great privilege to be here with this beautiful spiritual warrior. She may look soft like a rose petal on the outside, but I can tell you from direct experience, she's got the tenacity of a pit bull. Which is really why we're seeing the manifestation of this really beautiful intention in this amazingly sacred space. Deepak and I founded the Chopra Center almost 20 years ago, and our intention from the beginning was to make it a place of deep healing and transformation. Transformation is different from change. Change, you can go back and forth. Transformation, once you take that step, the door closes behind you. And it's our experience at the Chopra Center that it's not easy to be a human being, particularly in this modern age. People struggle with their inner demons. They want to be happier and healthier, but don't often believe that they deserve to make those evolutionary shifts. And so we have a lot of experience in helping people connect with that deep inner source that whispers, never shouts the message. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be healthy, and you deserve to create love in your life. And we know that addiction is the most predominant illness that faces humanity. It may come out in the obvious forms, like alcoholism or heroin addiction, but every one of us in this room, if we're honest with ourselves, would acknowledge that we're addicted to something. It could be just checking your BlackBerry every 30 seconds. It could be going shopping when you don't need anything, but you're a little bit anxious. It could be your latte in the morning. It could be your addiction to drama or perfection. I'm a professor at the University of California, San Diego Medical School, and we have medical students rotating through us. And almost on a regular basis, we have patients that, at least as part of their reasons for coming to the Chopra Center, have an addiction problem. So I'll discuss with the medical student, what's your addiction? Of course, that's a pretty shocking question to ask a medical student. And they'll hem and haw and say, oh, I'm addicted to running in the morning, or I'm addicted to my cappuccino. And I'll say, no, there's a deeper addiction. And they'll look like a deer in the headlight. And I'll say, listen, here you are. You're 27 years old, and you're still totally dependent upon my approval. You're addicted to approval. Otherwise, how could you be here in this spot? And so it doesn't matter. Being human means we have the tendency to get into conditioned patterns of behavior. And sometimes those patterns of behavior outlive their usefulness, but they always serve a purpose. And what we've come to recognize is that every addictive behavior is a substitute for love. So if we can't get love in a deep, nourishing relationship, we get it from eating too much, or smoking too much, or drinking too much, or all the other behaviors that give us a temporary relief. But as my most beloved Hafez, the great Sufi poet, says, we should beware of those habits that call to us, but are like counterfeit coins, which bring us a moment of pleasure, but then drag us for days like a broken man behind a farting camel. So we deeply believe that this program is going to be saturated in that love and compassion that will create the safety which will allow people to unwind the misunderstandings that drive these life-damaging behaviors and provide them with the tools and the awareness and the confidence that they can create new life-supporting behaviors that really fulfill the intention in our awareness of every human soul, which is to be happy, to be healthy, and to be a beacon of love. So it's a great honor and pleasure to be with you, and we look forward to seeing this vision manifest. Thank you.